I think what I learned a lot on this last trip to Europe was like I don't mind being inconvenienced, like in reasonable ways. Like if I have to wait in line a little while to get into like a museum I really want to get into or something like that, like I don't mind standing around waiting. The waiting's fine. But like if it's like a super irrational inconvenience, then I'm like, nah, I'm with you, let's go do something else. And then I've always been like the person who like keeps the peace. Like if the group isn't getting along, like I'm gonna bring the group back together or whatever, like talk the group back into like a happy place. Or
that let chaos reign.
yeah, so that I used to do that a lot and I was pretty good at it, but now I kind of feel like,
You were the chaos catalyst?
well, I mean usually everybody was there because I put them in that situation. Like it was my idea. We're there because it was my idea. But like if you chose to come with me, then you were given the option at the beginning to say no. Like, if you don't want to be here, then why the fuck did you come? Like, don't fucking ruin my fun because you're being a little bitch. Because, like, suddenly you're not happy, but, you know, you chose to come. So I don't
like,
think people
based
like...
off of what you just said, going out with you was a Hail Mary. Like, hey, we're going out tonight. It's a chance that the police could be involved and not, or not. So strap up or, like... You're that friend. You were that friend. I can imagine it. Like you were the Liberty Brief. You were the. Are we gonna make it back to base? I don't know, bitches. Come on. Use that one.
Yeah. But like never in any kind of danger. Like I never did anything stupid. Like my mom was a cop my whole life. Like I knew better than to do.
That is not an. That is the opposite of that excuse. Like my parents have some stature where I grew up. And I think that's more of the reason why I did dangerous, hellacious.
But
I was like, I might be able to get out of it.
You knew the boundaries, like you like I knew
the
my
boundary
boundaries.
is a lot higher though.
Yeah.
When you know them, like don't try to downplay this. You knew you was at. Look,
locally,
be honest.
Yes. In the military, no. Like I didn't know anybody out there.
Locally, you could look back at yourself and say, "It's a blessing I'm still alive."
Oh, that's for sure. Like I knew I was the kid that everybody's parents was like,
no, you can't hang out with her.
Yeah. Like that.
And the military changed your ways because you met other kids that made you realize you wasn't doing shit.
Yeah.
You barely had your feet in the water.
Yeah.
Some kids was out here selling cocaine at 13.
For sure, for sure. Yeah.
That's why the military is a beautiful place. You meet people from all walks of life. And no matter where you thought you came from, I promise you in the military, you're going to meet someone that you're just like, man.
Yeah. So like, and then I've always been the person that like, you know the shuttle buses that used to come to base like on the weekends and stuff or in the evenings to take everybody into town? You know what I'm talking about? Okay. So usually whatever base I was on, like I always had a bus person and they would always be like, well, if you can fill the bus, your ride's free. And so I always filled the bus.
I can see it. You was hellacious. You was inviting people without telling them the full deets. You was getting that bus fill.
Well, okay, I never didn't tell them the details.
You may have left out some details. Like the police may be involved and there may be some heavy drinking.
No, so it's more like nothing was ever really planned. So there was no details to leave out. Be like, hey, let's go to town and see like what happens.
Or let me ask this question then. Did you have a set crew of friends that you did this with? Or can you say that each time you planned to do something, there was definitely like 1 or 2 or 3 people that you never hung out with before that's like, hey, Russian roulette, welcome to the party?
No. It's kind of the same the way we play games here, where I stick to the same kind of people. Like the regulars were always the regulars, but we always had like add-ons. Like there were always add-ons. Yes.
There were never add-ons in my military adventures. Fuck that. Fuck new friends. You were a party animal. You were if you had add-ons, you were a party animal.
Acts of piracy, bro. I wasn't doing anything. I was farming fucking asteroids, and your ass fucking flew into my shit. Ugh.
That's usually how it starts. Officer, she flew into my shit. That's when I'm like, officer, this is my first time out with them.
Like, I've never been in any kind of serious trouble. The only time I've ever been handcuffed was when I called the cops on myself to have myself admitted. Like, that was the only time, and they only put cuffs on me just for, like, putting me
procedure.
in. Yeah, yeah.
My officer was cool. He did that, but he didn't tighten them, and he was like, "Oh, pull your hand out, please." And guess what I did on the way down the road? In the back seat, waving at people. He was like, "You're really gonna make me tighten them, aren't you?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, I won't do it no more." Before he took me in, though, he tightened them.
Yeah, that's what mine did too. He left them super loose, and he was like, "When we get in the car, you can take them off." But when we get to the station, I have to
like presidential parade. I was waving at people. I was like, "I'm going in, people." I agreed. Going in willingly.
I agree.
You're all safe. I enjoyed my 5 days of coloring and talking about my feelings. And the food was delicious.
You got 5 days too? I got 5 days too. They say you're supposed to only do 3. I did 6 days, I think, actually.
I went to a place where you were supposed to minimally do 7. I got sent home on day 5 because my sister used to work at the facility I went to. I didn't go to a VA facility. I went to a private facility.
Me too.
It was very fun. The nurses were amazing. The staff was so awesome. Everything was awesome.
Yeah, mine was the same too. And I went to a private one because I avoided the VA. Like, I thought the VA was still the military. I didn't know any better. Like, for me, they were
going to give you some Motrin and tell you to suck it up.
Yeah.
Go home.
So I didn't have any VA benefits or anything when I went in there. Luckily enough for me, I was still on. It was postpartum, so I still had my Medicaid. But yeah, they were super nice. I did all the freaking little activities, and they always let me go to the padded room willingly. What up, Tech? Check this girl out, just flying around talking and blasting pirates like it's nothing now. Yeah, you can join our party, Tech. I saw you alone. I didn't know if you were like busy working on something. You're welcome to join.
Maybe.
Yeah, so the facility I went to was like that, and they had like the padded room, and I was always welcome to go into the padded room whenever I felt like I couldn't deal with the people, which was often.
I only went in there one time, and then it was because it was the one I went to was a private co-ed facility. People had money in there.
Okay.
I just got lucky, honestly. But there was someone's grandmama was in there with me, and I had to kirk out on her. The first time I asked, they were like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No, that lady over there is screaming." I didn't, I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And so I was like, "Can I just go somewhere away from her?" And they were like, "We'll let you go in here and we won't lock you in it." And like they put a little thing in the doorway, and they were like, "Just come out when you feel good." And I was like, "Word? You ain't gonna lock me in or nothing?" She was like, I'm gonna be honest, the last Marine we had here, he shit all in this room and smeared it over the walls. Can you promise me you're not gonna do that? I was like, "Yeah, no." Like in my head, I was like, "I'm crazy, but I ain't play with my own shit crazy." Like,
it's like when you join the military, you're like, "I'm fucking wild, but I ain't that wild." Yeah.
That was the moment when I realized where I was. I was like, "Oh damn, this is max." Like, they didn't even let us go outside. I remember asking, I was like, "Can I go outside and walk? Can I go out there where they at?" She was like, "No, you're not, like, you can't go out there with them."
Wild. And so that was a lot. And then I kind of explained everything that happened in the military, the MST, everything. That's where I got my PTSD diagnosis, was when I was in there. The VA didn't give it to me. The VA took their paperwork and gave me 60% off the rip from being in there for a week. Affected me, and about touching and hugging, and I mean, I know I wasn't a hugger from before. Like, my parents were never the parents who are like, oh, you feel bad, let me give you a hug to make you feel better. Like, no, that wasn't my family. That we didn't give hugs. 'Cause one of us is gone. One of us is going down. I think that was 15 out of 16. I think I only have to do one more. I think. We'll find out right now when I get there. It's all in the trash now. I had a binder full. Never seen the live action Tekken. Yeah, it's... Cry out. I cry out, but still the Atlas is silent. Cry out again. I cry out thinking of my journey, thinking of all the things I have seen of Artemis, who just wanted to meet another traveler, who just wanted an end to their loneliness. Aww. I cry out thinking